Hello, my friends. It's Andrea here, and I want to welcome you to an interesting topic. And we do have an exact transit for November 18th, and I think it will be worthwhile to have a look at what happens there. It's the Mars-Sun conjunction, and what is its impact importance for crypto. So let's dive in. Okay, so we do have a Mars-Sun conjunction in the Sidereal Scorpio, which is a very important event. And why is this conjunction important? So conjunction means that two planets are together. This doesn't happen too often. Of course, the conjunction, the frequency of it will happen according to the planetary cycle, and it is usually a new beginning. We make the same analogy like the sun and the moon. When they are together at the new moon, it's a new beginning, but it's a beginning which takes place each month. But such beginnings between planets that have longer cycles as the moon, which are all of them basically, are pretty rare. Therefore, they mark important events. So how can we approach this from an astrological perspective to interpret? We have a reset of the Mars cycle. Mars is the fuel, it's the engine of the price action. And it is associated with steam, with prana, with the life force, with the blood, isn't it? So it's connected to the velocity in the body, velocity in the markets. And we need to take into account that Bitcoin was born in such a cycle. And this was triggered in December 2008. And we have the birth date in 2009, January 3rd. So not not much later. Therefore, this is really in the roots, in the birth of Bitcoin. And this was really the last time when the cycle happened. So 2008, now it's 2023, count the years. So it's something that is pretty rare. And therefore, we can really expect a significant move there. So it's like you get, again, fuel in the car. So it's like you have new life force, new fuel to continue. Therefore, I would say that we should pay attention to that and also take into account that the next conjunction in the Sidereal Scorpio, of course, other decrees, other nakshatras, will happen in 2055. So I don't know, it's quite a long time, isn't it? And in order to really try to assess what will happen, because such cycles, they are quite long and things happen really slowly. So we don't really see them very clearly that we will have significant moves, in a short period of time. Therefore, these longer cycles, which are quite slow in nature, they are not so easy to quantify and to evaluate, to interpret. And therefore, we look at the history, because some of them really span multiple human lives. Not really the case here, but in any case, it spans a long life. And I wanted to focus on the macro, on the S&P 500. So please look here at this chart. We had S&P 500 on the rise during the year of 1961. It was again December when this aspect was exact. And what happened then, you can see it highlighted. We had a peak in the series, of other peaks that were formed in the years to come. And this ascending trend took place until 1968. For sure, S&P 500 has another birth chart, but we can really infer the consequence of the transit on the evolution, taking into account also the nakshatra, the lunar mansion, the stars, the truth is in the stars. The conjunction took place in the last pada, so the last part of Vishaka Nakshatra, associated with large sums of money, with people in positions of power, corporate takeovers, mergers and acquisitions. So we can really look, dive into more details on what happened back then, but this would be a possible rollout of this conjunction in a scenario. Then the next one happened in 1976 in November, and this was one local peak marking the beginning of a downtrend this time. And this was for the next few years until August of 1982. We had the conjunction in another part of the sky, so other stars were highlighted. It was the Anuradha Nakshatra, which is associated with disappointments in general, and it was a strong influence of the significance of this nakshatra because the conjunction took place near the Yogatara, which is the most important star of the whole nakshatra portion of the sky. Yes. Then we had, but also Anuradha, I would like to tell you, it's like the symbol is linked to the lotus flower, and it's about starting in the mud, so very low, but also going, after that very high. So it points to the fact that it's a sort of temporary period in the life of the transit that is triggered by this nakshatra. So we see here, it's sort of a bottom, and yes, it didn't bottom yet, but then it was marking really an ascending path for S&P 500. You can see the chart afterwards. So again, it's this symbol with the mud and then the beauty of the lotus flower that would really grow in the years to come. Now we do have the most recent one. Let's look 2008. Most of us, I guess, remember it was a crisis, isn't it? So we have here the situation that it marked a decline indeed. It was the beginning of a valley that led to a local bottom, which happened in February 2009. And the conjunction took place in the second pada of Giesta, similar to the one in 1968, 1961, sorry, if you remember, but it's close to the Yogatara of Vishaka this time, and the star Antares, which is also an indicator for price drops and losses in competitions in general. So also, for example, in sports, if we have soccer games, then the loser will have this star associated with it usually. And this was, again, so it's the same portion of the sky like we saw it before, but this doesn't happen so often. Now, maybe you ask yourself, what does it mean for the conjunction now? Mars-Sun conjunction taking place exactly on November 18th. And I tell you, it's yet another nakshatra. It's the Vishaka Nakshatra. But Vishaka is a warrior nakshatra associated with goal orientation, with victory, and it has the triumphal arch as a symbol, which was also a victory symbol. So afterwards, the glorious warrior returned back home and had his celebration, and it was associated with walking under the triumphal arch, isn't it? So this also marks a very strong point in the constellation itself, this conjunction, because it happens in the fourth pada. This means the last part, the fourth part of the whole constellation, which is the strongest pada. It's Pushkara Navamsha for the ones who are more deep into astrology. So something big would happen, rather positive. We don't have exact degree. It's a bit above 1 degree, Scorpio sidereal, and it's also Scorpio in the tropical zodiac. But in any case, it's again related to power, to big money, also also to standards, I would say, and to goal orientation. So the moves will be more strategic in nature, and it would be towards going for standards. I hope this was interesting for you, and I would like to mention the fact that sometimes when such events happen, we have new cycles triggered. So this would be also important for the ones that are experts, that are deeper in technical analysis, especially for long-term patterns in order to compute targets. I hope this was interesting for you. Thank you again for your attention, for liking and subscribing. It helps the channel. And until next time, be joyful.